President Donald Trump has called the EU a foe. At this point, President Trump is doing more for the UK and more for Brexit than any of our politicians ever have done. He's doing way more to hold the politicians to account and make them fulfill the outcome of the Brexit referendum. And I think that's wonderful. It's brilliant, isn't it? And there was, of course, that amazing Sun News interview that he did during his trip here that the media were going insane about. You know, how could he do something so miscalculated? But really, I thought it was genius. And in that interview that caused so much outrage, he said that if May went ahead with the soft Brexit deal, essentially the checkers deal, then it would mean that America would be dealing with the EU and not dealing with the UK, and it would, quote, probably end a major trade relationship with the United States. I think that's a fantastic thing to do. It's really smart. It's not actually just operating in a way that defends the Brexit referendum outcome, but also in a way that protects America, because a trade deal between the US and the UK it's mutually beneficial. It makes a lot of sense. And if Theresa May goes ahead with this Brexit light deal, which still, let's be honest, ties us to EU regulations, as I've outlined in one of my previous videos, then it's going to make it difficult for the US to trade with us. Trump even said at a NATO press conference that Brexit is Brexit, nice one, and that the people voted to break it up, so I would imagine that's what they would do, but maybe they're taking a different route. I don't know if that's what they voted for. You know, Trump is calling out the Prime Minister. Make no mistake, he's calling her out on the fact that they are betraying the results of the Brexit referendum. He even said, I don't know if you've seen this, but buried in that really long press conference between Trump and Mrs. May over the weekend, he actually called her out in a sly way, saying, you know, whether Brexit might happen, it might not. We'll see what happens. It's fantastic that he's doing this. I think it's really important. But today, I saw a video in which he called the European Union a foe. I mean, he's defended Brexit so far, but now he's calling the EU a foe, which I just think is brilliant. Take a quick look at this.
Who's your biggest competitor, your biggest foe globally right now?
Well, I think we have a lot of foes. I think the European Union is a foe, what they do to us in trade. Now, you wouldn't think of the European Union, but they're a foe.
A lot of people might be surprised to hear you list the EU as a foe before China and Russia.
No, I look at them all. Look, EU is very difficult. I want to tell you, maybe the thing that's most difficult, don't forget, both my parents were born in EU sectors, okay? I mean, my mother was Scotland, my father was Germany, and, you know, I love those countries. I respect the leaders of those countries, but in a trade sense, they've really taken advantage of us, and many of those countries are in NATO, and they weren't paying their bills. And, you know, I, as an example, have a big problem with Germany, because Germany made a pipeline deal with Russia where they're going to be paying Russia billions and billions of dollars a year for energy. And I say that's not good. That's not fair. You're supposed to be fighting for someone, and then that someone gives billions of dollars to the one that you're, you know, guarding against. I think it's ridiculous. So I let that be known also this time. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of anger at the fact that Germany is paying Russia billions of dollars. There's a lot of anger. I also think it's a very bad thing for Germany, because it's like, what are they, waving a white flag?
I've been really enjoying Trump's interventions on Brexit. Of course, it's funny. It's funny to watch this man basically throw a political hand grenade into the political arena. It's great, but actually he's doing something really important. And it also, by the way, a lot of people might say to me, and it would be fair enough, well, Jack, don't you hate it when politicians come to one country and tell the people what to do? And yes, I would. If Trump was coming here and telling us to do something that we'd never spoken about or voted on, then yeah, absolutely, there'd be a problem. But here's the difference. Trump's coming to the UK and reminding the politicians to do something that we, the British people, have already told them to do. This isn't Trump intervening to tell them to do something that he wants them to do. He's intervening and saying, hey, didn't your voters already tell you to do something? Maybe you should do that. I think that's fantastic, and it really puts our politicians in their place, reminding the politicians what they've already been told. Trump's one of the most important allies for this country. America's one of the most important allies, but it's not just for the country, it's specifically an important ally for the British voters at this point. And if he continues to speak out and represent us, represent the outcome of the Brexit referendum in 2016, then Trump, in my mind, will have done more for this country than any of our modern politicians. If you want to see more from me and the rest of the Rebel team, remember to like and subscribe.